Hello friends, my name is Vaibhav and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Fragmenting Wisdom. In this video, we are going to learn about the turtle diagram. But before I explain you about the turtle diagram, I would like to say thank you so much for your likes, views and comments. I also would like to say thank you to those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Those who are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe and press the bell icon for getting the notification about upcoming videos. As I committed, I am here with the next topic, which is turtle diagram. While practicing the process approach, the turtle diagram is a great tool for visualizing the process characteristics. Processes are made up of inputs, outputs, process owners, followers, resources, criteria and many more things. Turtle diagram is a tool to visualize these processes to assist in their effective execution, improvement and assessment. It is a favorite tool for auditors too. Even as a consultant, I like the turtle diagram very much because it helps me to explain my client what exactly the process means. In this video, we will learn about the turtle diagram, how to make it and how to use it. Please watch this video completely to learn the turtle diagram concept in a very easy way. Let us now learn some history about the turtle diagram. The turtle diagram was first introduced by Philip Crosby. That time it was called as spider diagram. Later on, because of some unknown reason, the name was changed from spider diagram to turtle diagram. Philip built a process worksheet on a traditional SIPOC diagram. He also added a training, resources, procedure, work instructions to follow. As we always know, a SIPOC diagram consists of supplier, input, process, output, customer in a horizontal way, whereas the turtle diagram is in a tile way. So it is very easy for anyone to read the turtle diagram because of its graphics, because of its styling, the way it is styled, and because of the shape of the turtle diagram. So let us now see what are the elements of turtle diagram. I know they are somewhere equivalent to the SIPOC, but presented in a very interesting way. So let us now learn about the elements of turtle diagram. To learn the turtle diagram, we need to understand how many elements are in it. Turtle diagram is made up of 6 elements. Sometimes it is made up of 7 elements. These elements are surrounding a process which are considered as a turtle body. These elements are inputs, outputs, resources, who will perform the task, how to perform the task, and performance indicators. Some organizations link it with CSRs too. Creating the turtle diagram is a logical process. The blank form which I am using in the video is given in the download section below. You can download the same if you need it. To create the turtle diagram, first we must get ourselves familiar with the turtle diagram blank form. This is the turtle diagram blank form. As I mentioned earlier, it consists of 6 sections. We have to understand each section in detail. The first element of the turtle diagram is inputs. In this section, we must enter details of actual process, inputs such as document, materials, schedules, requirements, information, etc. The second section is output. Enter details of actual process output such as product, documentation, records, etc. at this element. The third element is how many or how much. Enter the process effectiveness and efficiency details such as objectives, targets, key performance indicators, etc. in this element. The next element is with whom. This element is for resources and competence. Interpersonal requirements including skills, competence and training requirements, restrictions, etc. at this element. With what is the next element? It is the equipment and devices. You have to enter machines, test inspection, software, hardware, material handling requirements, etc. in this element. How is the last element of a turtle diagram? It is for documents. Enter associated procedures, work instructions, standard requirements in this element. Each section describes the specific element of a process in the turtle diagram. Covering each section ensures a process approach in the organization or to the audit is followed. To create a turtle diagram, I should always start with the shell of the turtle. At the shell of the turtle, you should write down name of the process for which you are going to prepare a turtle diagram. Here in this case, I have taken an example of calibration process. After this, I move to my first element, which is input section. In input section, there are 4 inputs which I have identified for calibration process. The first input is calibration schedule. The second input is production schedule. The third input is control plans. And the fourth input I have considered here as customer requirements. As an output of calibration process, I expect calibration record as per calibration schedule, which is our element number 2 in terms of output. If calibration process works well, I should able to measure the performance of the calibration process. If calibration process works well, to evaluate the performance of the calibration process, I should enter to third element of the turtle diagram, which is how many or how much. I have identified here 4 to 5 performance indicators for calibration process. The first performance indicator is equipment performance. The second one is equipment availability. The third one is cost of calibration. The fourth one is no auditances for use of uncalibrated equipment. And fifth one is MSA results. After writing key criteria or measurables, I should move to fourth element, which is with whom. Here I need to write what are the resources in terms of human resource I need to perform calibration process. For an example, I have written here as calibration technician, quality manager, tool crib attendant I need to perform calibration process. I move to my fifth element, which is with what. Here I should write the resources in terms of machines, equipments or material. To perform a calibration process, I need calibration equipments. I need calibration standards traceable to NIST or any international standard to perform the calibration activity. I also need computer, software or printer, and if any required, hand tool. Now, it is very important to know how to perform the calibration process, and for that I should move to the sixth element, which is how. In this, I should mention the reference of work instructions or SOPs which I should follow for the calibration activities. I should also mention the equipment manufacturer guidelines if I have any. The calibration process interacts with quality assurance and production process. So I should mention what are the processes with which the calibration process interacts. So here as an example I have taken quality assurance and inspection process, which covers incoming, in process and final inspection process, for which interacts with the calibration activity. Production process also interacts with the calibration activity, and hence I have mentioned that here. I can also mention the process interacting with the calibration processes. I can also mention other processes interacting with the calibration processes in my organization. Here as an example, a production process interacts with the calibration process. This is how you can complete your turtle diagram. It is a very easy way. You should start with the first element, then you should move to the second element as an output, then you should move to the third element as a performance measurable, then fourth element with whom, then fifth element with what, and then sixth element how you are going to perform the process.
The turtle diagram is such a wonderful tool that if you use it in your organization, you will get n number of benefits. Out of this n number of benefits, I would like to mention key 4 or 5 benefits in this video. The first benefit is directly to new joinees or newly recruited candidates. If you provide them turtle diagram, they will able to learn their process in an easy way. The second benefit is to auditors. Of course, they are internal auditors and they are external auditors. If you provide turtle diagram to your auditors, they will able to complete the audit in an easy way, in a faster way, and of course in an effective way. The turtle diagram is also helpful for linking KPIs with the process. You can monitor your KPI easily if you link turtle diagram and KPI together. The fourth important benefit is, of course, entering the CSR in the turtle diagram. If you mention customer specific requirements in the turtle diagram, it is going to help you to monitor them, to follow them, to track them. The next and the last benefit which I would like to mention is VA and VA with the help of turtle diagram. Turtle diagram will tell you what are the value added and non-value added activities in my process. You will remove those non-value added things and make your process more valuable. So these are all the benefits which we get with the help of turtle diagram. I have a strong belief that I could able to explain you the turtle diagram in an easy way so that you can practice it in your organization. If you like this video, please press the like button and provide your valuable comment. If you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will get the notification about upcoming videos. If you need any help, any support related to your process modification, related to VA and VA of your process, or if you would like to address your customer specific requirements in your process and turtle diagram, please do contact us. My email ID, my contact details are given in the description box.